These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with RayRan98. According to one of our three-letter sources, all rates are loaded and ready to go. Time will tell. All right, Mountain Goat says, I call my CBI contact almost every Saturday and get the full scoop of what is really happening in Iraq and the efforts of the CBI. Since we have not heard anything official, word of progress about the redenomination process, it is not yet happening, I can assure you. However, we sit still and know it is still in the plan because I know it is, and it has to happen sooner than later, just not yet. All right, Claire article, quote, the Council of Ministers decides to increase the capital of the Raffidan Bank and to pay Iraq's share in the World Bank, unquote. Another quote, the Council approved within the course of financial and economic relations with international financial and banking institutions 98,925,642 dinars in cash after the approval of the Federal General Budget Law for the year 2023, taking into account the new exchange rate between the date and claim and the date of payment, unquote. All right, Frank26, Iraq Boots on the Ground report Firefly. They're back on Channel 1 saying it will be weeks now that the street rate should match the official rate. They went from weeks to soon, and now they're back to weeks again. Frank says rumors are rampant. 1 minute they say one thing, next minute they say something else. That's why we will tell you only pay attention to Sadani and the governor of the CBI. All right, Mark Z via PDK, two important articles out of Iraq today. Quote, Kurdistan region finance announces the release of 200 million dinar from Baghdad, unquote. Another quote, Kurdistan regional government to start distributing April salaries next week, unquote. For that to happen, it means they have the funding from the from the budget and the HCL, as we understand it. This means this thing will be completed. This is a good indicator as to what to expect timing-wise. Sadani has told us that the dinar is ready to be the father of the dollar, meaning it's going to be worth more. This is all over Middle Eastern news that the value of the dinar is about to change. There is no keeping the cat in the bag anymore. We are very close to the end of this thing. All right, Militiaman says there's apparently lesser demand for dollars in the parallel market now, and the exchange rate is going to go up. The electronic platform is working its magic. The nefarious folks that are doing a dollar exchange outside the platform, they're going to find it tougher and tougher. All right, and Walking Stick with the final part 8 of 8 from CBI's private bank meeting continued. Currency swaps with many countries in motion. It means the international community, the investors, the economic reform finally have faith, have confidence like the citizens do in the CBI and the Prime Minister of Iraq. These IQD swaps are being done right now electronically. They are not being done physically. At this point of the monetary reform, they are swapping with all the banks around the world the new national currency electronically. Why? Because the tender is for the citizens inside Iraq when they exchange, and because you do not want to flood the market back with 3-0 notes. All right, Pimpy article quote, International Monetary Fund expects Iraq's external debt to fall by $1.2 billion, unquote. Pimpy says it's really been amazing to watch Iraq pay off all their debts, both external and internal, and they're doing it in huge leaps and bounds. That just goes to show you if they didn't have all these fines and things they had to settle out of court and pay, like Kuwait and anybody else, and they had these external debts paid off, this country would be a very rich country. All right, Claire article quote, Al-Sudani surprises the ministries with 3 work shifts to complete the projects, unquote. Another quote, based on the approval of the Prime Minister and for the purpose of accelerating work on all projects to take what is necessary by instructing that work be done in 3 shifts to ensure speed completion of projects and increase the employment of manpower, unquote. All right, and We have Frank 26 with an article, quote, "The Council of Ministers decides to increase the capital of Rafidane Bank and pay Iraq's share in the World Bank," unquote. Another quote, "After the approval of the federal general budget law for the year 2023, taking into account the new exchange rate between the date of the claim and the date of the payment," unquote. Frank says from the correct horse's mouth, taking into account the new exchange rate, well, all right then. And lastly, we have Mountain Goat says we are still waiting for the 3-year budget to pass in Parliament and for them to open it. I don't care what rate it is since they have told us the rate is flexible and they designed the budget accordingly. Of course, the higher the cost of oil, the better.